Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Hope Sessions podcast, where every week we want to give you encouragement through different means such as testimonies, dialogues with guests, along with diving into the scriptures and exploring the incredible life-transforming truths inside it. So with all that being said, here's another episode for you to tune into and listen to. God bless. Enjoy the episode. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Hope Sessions podcast with me, Jerry D. Now, today is a special one because today starts the series that we've entitled More Than Words. So if you haven't heard, there's a tour happening in September with two spoken word artists from America. One of them is from Florida. He's called Loso. The other guy is called A-Ward. He's from Kansas City. And this is going to be an incredible opportunity for you to invite a friend, a family member, to come and hear a wide variety of genres under the heading of this More Than Words tour. But it's, I suppose, as a way to introduce my guest tonight, he's the CEO of the tour, the manager, the visionary behind it. And it's the wonderful Godfrey. Now, let me tell you something about this man, right? For so long, I've maybe not had someone who shares the same passion and enthusiasm for putting on events that would bless people, that would make much of Jesus. But I've found someone in Godfrey who shares my passion, my vision for it, and I'm so honored to know that tonight you're in for a treat as we have him on to talk about the More Than Words tour. He runs the Gospel Music Ireland page, who have been responsible for having artists like Kirk Franklin, Lecrae, and many other artists come to Ireland over the years. So Godfrey, my friend, my brother, it is an absolute honor to have you on the podcast. How are you?
Thank you, Jerry. I'm good. Quite an introduction. CEO, scary stuff.
Just speaking it into existence, right?
Yeah. We thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Amen. So hey Godfrey, tonight, however people listening to it, before we dive into the More Than Words tour, I've mentioned that you run the Gospel Music Ireland page, but before we get into that, would you share for the next couple of minutes how you came to faith in Christ?
Well, my mother and father are both Christians. I'm my mother's son.
Mm,
She raised me since I was 13. My dad died, when I was 13.
mm,
But they always brought us to church, and even at school, I found myself clinging on to God.
yeah.
We moved to Ireland when I was a teenager. Um, um, but I did get saved at a crusade when
Okay.
I was 10 years old. Um, you know, uh, they did the altar call. Uh, it was a man called Reverend Chiweshe.
Okay.
I know it's going to be hard to say, but he's a real person. He's passed away now. But yeah, I gave my life to Christ, and uh, I never really turned back. I did backslid in terms of my lifestyle,
Mm,
um, but I found myself back after, being a promoter, secular promoter. I promoted KRS-One,
mm.
which was the first dip for me to feel like this ain't right. I had sold out my first event 20 years ago, 2004.
Wow.
Sold out. It was just a fluke. I actually did that event to try and pay my fees, but it sold out. So I was like, wow, I
Wow.
think I like doing this. So I then got Tim Westwood, and I remember being in the Tim Westwood event, and then he goes, all the girls who want to get laid, put your hands in the air, and then you hear screams. And for the first time, I felt like, this is dark.
Wow.
This is dark. And that was the beginning of, I don't think I should be doing this. Then I met KRS-One, and as much as he talks about God, he believes he's a God himself.
Mm,
So that was a problem. It was another eye opener. And I remember doing his event, and somebody threw a bottle
right.
at the legendary DJ Mac from Scary Area.
Mm,
For the hip hop fans who might listen to this one day. and it hit him. A whole bottle hit DJ Mick.
Wow.
And the button factory at that time was called Temple Bar Music Center, shut the event down because people were getting rowdy. You know, they wanted KRS-One.
Yeah.
KRS-One was coming because the event was supposed to finish at around midnight.
Okay.
It was around 9. So he came. He came later on, but when he came, the event was shut down. So, you know, that day, there was a bit of riot even when they closed the doors because there was a sold out gig and people had been waiting years for him. And I decided that day that I ain't doing this. So I reached out to T-Bone,
Mm.
and T-Bone, I remember talking to him about it because he had done a song with KRS-One. But I remember talking to him about it and him encouraging me that whatever you do, if you're gonna do gospel, don't do it for the money.
Wow.
Just do it for God's glory. And
Mm.
if you keep it focused on just this land giving God's glory, you will be fine.
Wow.
Nothing will happen. And it's been the same since that was 2005. 2007 is when I did T-Bone. And I thank God for everything that He has done in my life and we
Yeah.
have done as Gospel Music Ireland.
Wow. And I, one of my, I suppose, my introduction to Christian hip hop was Lecrae. And
Mm.
when I've discovered
Sorry,
Lecrae,
Jerry, sorry. Can
sorry.
you hear me then?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
can
I
hear
seem
you.
like I'm whispering. Okay,
No, no, I can hear you perfectly.
okay.
Um, so I've been a big fan of Lecrae once ever since I accidentally discovered him on YouTube prior to me becoming a Christian. And then when I became a Christian, so I was a big hip hop fan before I came to Jesus, and now I'm a massive Christian hip hop fan as a result of coming to Christ. And everyone who knows me in my church or any conferences I've been at, people know me that I do rap and spoken word. So when I say like I've been a big fan of Lecrae for years, I've wanted and I've many a times I've prayed for Lecrae to come to Ireland, right? And
Yeah,
then the Lord has a funny sense of humor, and I say that I can laugh now, but at the time I was quite annoyed. So there's 365 days in a year.
yeah,
Lecrae decides to come to Ireland the very day that I fly out of the country to go to Geneva to be a part of a youth conference. It's
mm,
almost like when I was flying out of the country, he was almost flying in. And when I say I was so disappointed, I don't think I've ever been so disappointed in my life because most of my friends, I say probably about 13 or 14 of them, went to that event. They were sending me videos. Now, bear in mind, they're not big Christian hip hop fans. They're just kind of casual fans. They'll go because it's a Christian event. Whereas I'm a diehard Lecrae fan, bought the merch, bought the albums, the physical CDs, back when people bought
yeah,
CDs. And
yeah,
I want to ask a question, because many people who would listen to this would be familiar with Lecrae because he's like the Eminem of the Christian hip hop world, for a lack of a better term. What was it like
yeah.
working with Lecrae? Was it an easy, an enjoyable experience?
Le-
What did that look like?
with the Lecrae, like many artists that I end up, I had we had tried a couple of times. He had come to the UK at least 4 times.
Okay.
Remember Roger from the Gospel Link brought him on the first time, and I tried to bring him to Ireland. It didn't work. And I was always giving out to Reach Records and to booking agents. Why did you forget Ireland?
Mm,
Then in this time, it's 2022. And I hadn't actually done an event since 2000. I was helping a few ministries like
mm,
I always
sure.
do events, but I hadn't promoted an event, anchored an event. So Burna Boy, I remember March 17 comes to Ireland
Mm,
and he sells out the Three Arena. And some people who I know are Christians went to it, and some of the youth in my church went to it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, "What just happened?"
mm,
You know.
yeah.
And at that same time, I check my email and I have an email saying Lecrae wants to come. Let's talk. And this
Wow.
time I was like, this time this has to happen. So he did us a favor,
Mm.
uh, and we made it happen. But it was more their initiative saying, okay, the time for Ireland is now. He
Yeah.
went and did Dublin, then he went to Summer Madness,
Yeah.
and did Summer Madness, a few thousand there. So in Ireland, oh yeah, I think Ireland, he liked Ireland. I didn't hear any complaints. We looked after him. The event itself, I was a fan. I've been a fan of Lecrae for a while.
Yeah.
Uh, he sang the hits. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Should have missed that flight. But
Mm.
he sang it with Don't Waste Your all
Oh.
of the hits. I
Oh
know,
no.
Jerry, I'm just joking. But it was good. But people don't miss these events, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it was a good opportunity to see the guy live.
Mm.
It was his first time to Ireland. Um, so I know he was a bit like, I don't know what to expect,
Yeah.
because the island urban scene is so much different from the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
We operate different. The music here, in fact, in the music genre here and the way it's so different. So he didn't know what to expect.
Mm.
People don't usually come to, so he made it. And we hope we see him next year again for the 116 tour.
Yeah.
If they're doing that, please, they better not miss out.
Oh, in
I know me
Jesus'
and
name.
you have been talking about this. 25 years of the 116. Let us hope that
Yeah.
it comes to Ireland.
Yeah. Oh, that would be for me, it would be a personal dream come true, you know.
Yeah.
And I will make sure if he comes next year that whatever mission trip is scheduled around that time, I won't be putting my name down. The Lord knows my heart for that. So
An unashamed tour. Imagine that. Unashamed Dublin.
oh wow.
Oh my God. Or maybe Cork. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe both.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be amazing if they add us to the circuit,
Yeah,
you know?
indeed, Lord
Yeah.
willing. And I say all that to say so that people can understand that you've had the wonderful honor of working with people who are doing gospel music at a very high standard because you have experience, and part of that is now we're doing the More Than Words tour. And do you want to share briefly the story of how this came to fruition? How the whole idea for More Than Words, like why is it, what does More Than Words mean? What's going on?
Yeah. You see, More Than Words was initially authored by both myself and yourself, Jerry.
Mm,
So I'm
yeah.
gonna need your input,
Yeah.
you know, because some things that are happening on the More Than Words are not just me coming up with it. There are three people coming up with Richie, who's from One King Music,
Yeah.
is the other third person. But yeah, the More Than Words came about, in late last year.
Mm,
I got introduced by Jerry to Awad and Losso. He sent me this poem that's making the rounds in Ireland. A lot of more than 100,000 people. I was doing the calculations. More than
wow.
100,000 people have watched it in Ireland. And if you put those numbers together, that's amazing, and you can see the impact
Yeah.
that. So you sent it to me. And I wasn't sure. I was
Mm,
like, I have never heard of these guys. But then I checked who they are. Battle rappers. And then I had my question marks like, I'm a youth leader,
yeah.
in my church. Well, my wife is the youth leader, but I help the youth leader.
Sure.
So, uh, you know, I looked at it and I said, we can get this done in Ireland
Mm.
under certain conditions, and I wasn't ready. I
Yeah.
wasn't ready. But Jerry kept at me. He kept at me. Then I think you sent me a couple of more videos.
Yeah.
Um, there was one with a word about alcohol, and whoa, the way they present Jesus
Yeah.
in the poem
Yeah.
is amazing. It's no wonder they were part of the Poets in Autumn tour in
Mm.
America.
That's right.
The way they just present Jesus, they take a real life social issue
Yeah.
and flip it to reflect how Jesus can take control and how we Christians can take control through our faith in Jesus, of course.
Yeah.
So I loved that. And that's hope. And right now we're on the Hope podcast talking about the more than words. The more than words statement is also to say that if you come to this, you'll get more than just words.
Mm.
You won't get a bottle thrown at you like I said,
Yeah.
you won't get that. You will get to meet people who are very welcoming because we're doing it in churches.
Yeah.
And the churches know that, okay, not only people from their church are coming here, but other people, so they are very welcoming.
Yeah.
And also, you get a top standard arts performance and presentations. I know One King Music, Richie is working on a surprise for everyone with
Yeah.
all the artists, and I am so looking forward to seeing how that comes out. But it's more than words. We
Yeah.
ain't just talking.
That's right.
Bible says the kingdom of God is not a matter of talk; it's a matter of power.
That's right. And
Yeah,
I suppose I want to say thank you, Godfrey, for trusting my judgment on Loso and A Ward. Because when I say I've been following these guys for 7 to 8 years. Because obviously prior to coming to Christ, I was a big fan of battle rap. Still am, to be honest. Just the creative aspect of it and how they're able to write and stuff. And I've had I suppose I have a friendship with both these guys on an individual basis, as you could tell when we were talking on the video call just a
yeah,
couple of weeks ago, that there's that camaraderie between us. And I've had the honor of being on Instagram lives with them before, bought their merch. I mean, A Ward was supposed to come to Dublin just before the pandemic hit. He was supposed to do a battle rap event with, I think his name is O'Shea. He's one of the biggest battle rappers in the UK.
okay,
Was going to come
okay,
over and be a part of, is it Rap is Full? I think it's called.
hmm
He was going to do a venue with
okay,
them, but then COVID happened and that got shut down. I was supposed to go to the UK 2 years ago to see Loso, but two days prior to that event, it got cancelled just because of we were in the time of the COVID restrictions. Remember, they were up
yeah,
and they were down, and so that couldn't happen either. So it's an honor now to say that never met these guys in person yet, but
yeah,
now I get to go on tour with them, which is a wonderful thing. And I was thinking like we are so blessed to have these guys coming. Like these
yeah,
guys, and you've seen it if you look on their Instagram, they're in very high demand.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, they
they're
are.
doing us a massive favor by
So,
coming
yeah,
here. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder is that part of my
and
friendship
I'm
with them? I don't
humbled and
know,
I'm
but
grateful. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But have you tried battle rap?
I haven't because I'm not sure I'd be able to keep my cool. I think I would lay hands on someone and not pray for them, but turn them into
Yeah,
prey.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
I've watched their battle rap. They
Mm,
uh, everybody know the Christians are
yeah,
coming up, and everybody mentions it. And the way they just take it and then respond, and then are so unashamed. It is such a warm feeling.
yeah.
I always had this negative thought of battle rap,
Mm,
but Loso and Awad, they're doing it the positive way.
that's
Even
right.
when they win,
Yeah,
they say, look, I am so glad they're in the top 10
yeah,
worldwide.
that's
You
right.
reminded me when I was with them, top 10
Yeah,
worldwide,
that's right.
both of them. So, and they all give their glory to God and everything. Yeah. So I am excited. I'm really excited to see
Mm.
what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're expecting new material,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah. That's what
you
they
know.
said when we were
So
talking to him.
yeah, 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 yeah. New
Award
material.
said two. So
Yeah.
that's exciting, you know. But I will say this, typically when people think of spoken word, Godfrey, I think the narrative around it is people picture someone standing behind a microphone holding a piece of paper, kind of reciting it off a microphone. But I want to say that spoken word, the difference between spoken word and poetry is something you write down and read off a page or a book. Spoken word is something that people write to memorize to perform live. So, if people haven't checked out any of these guys' stuff, like there's going to be energy, there's going to be passion. Jesus is going to be saturated through every piece. There's going to be crowd engagement. But I think even to think of it as a whole, as a wider tour, we have a drill artist coming on tour called Scripps,
Hmm.
and he's really good. And when people think of drill, there's such a negative connotation to it. But
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with someone recently about how we get to take what the world has a negative impact on with rap and hip hop and stuff and flip that on its head and use it for the glory of Christ.
Yeah.
That's what I think is wonderful. Like when they're thinking of the word More Than Words tour, it's not just spoken word, although there's a big
Yeah.
aspect to it because of who Loso and A-Ward are. There's going to be worship, there's going to be singing, drill, which is rap music, and then obviously spoken word. So but you know what I was thinking, Godfrey? With all the genres put together, do you know what it is? It's worship.
Mm. Yeah. 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 It is.
It's
It
no
is.
matter what the genre, how you want to label it, it's a night of worship where we will worship Jesus through creative arts, which is incredible.
Mhm. Yeah. And you know what I was thinking? The apostles.
Mm,
The apostles didn't have mics. Jesus didn't have a mic,
yeah.
but he was speaking to 5,000. We have this depiction that he was speaking like, but have you ever seen how they speak when they're speaking to 5,000 people?
Mm,
I don't, and that's how I feel spoken word is like, especially in the way that it is presented in the Christian circles these days. Um, it's such a powerful medium.
yeah.
Um, I just don't see it as they were talking like we're talking, because they're talking to 5,000, they're talking to crowds,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
with no mics. You'll have mics, but they had no mics, and
Yeah.
it was open air.
That's right.
So if you want that person to catch what you're saying, you gotta be audible to the max.
Mm,
So I believe Jesus was a spoken word artist,
yeah. The best one in ever as well.
the best one ever,
Yeah.
because it takes some kind of skill to speak and communicate with people. And that's what those guys are also doing. The difference also with spoken word is that I know rap has got a beat, they don't.
Sure. Sure. That's right. It's just
So it's
you
just,
and the crowd.
yeah, you, the crowd, the wordplay, the everything. But there are also artists on the tour, like Dr.
Yes.
Maybe. She tackles mental health at a certain level. She's a pediatrician,
Yeah.
and she's seen it more. I am looking forward to hearing all about it and seeing what she comes up with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I love is that every person that we have chosen to be a part of it is to have such a uniqueness about them, about how they minister. Like we have obviously
Yeah.
a doctor coming on tour, we have a drill artist coming on tour, we have spoken word artists, we have a worship team joining us as well.
Yeah.
And everyone has the same mindset, which is to make Jesus known first and foremost,
Hmm. Hmm.
And I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you this. It seems like a generic question, right? But because obviously for us, like for the people who are coming to the tour, all they have to do is go online, buy their ticket. That's it. Whereas me and you are
Yeah.
behind the scenes, emails, FaceTime, video calls with different people getting stuff in place. What are you most excited about this tour? Is there a certain interaction or a certain aspect of the tour that you're looking forward to seeing how that plays out? Or
I've always had one objective when I
Hmm,
do an event.
yeah,
You come to an event, what are you gonna leave with?
yes,
So I'm more excited to hear the impact.
mm,
And that's what I pray for. That's why we're doing this. It is
yeah,
not even for the ticket. It's just people and are receptive to it,
yeah,
and love it, So um, that's what I'm excited to see. We're bringing practitioners
yeah,
to do their thing. So even for me, when I listen to those, or I'm part of the crowd, I can look and go, ooh, that's what I've never promoted anyone. I don't become a fan of.
yeah,
So that's what I am so looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing the growth between the whole team,
yeah,
because from day one in Dragada to Bray, they'll have done it to different crowds and different
yeah.
settings.
That's right.
Like Friday is a culture night,
Mm, that's
you
right.
know. Uh the Saturday is different from the Friday.
Yeah.
The Dragada night is more of a big youth event.
Yeah.
So I'm so just looking forward to just seeing what each day brings. I know Richie's talking about bringing them to prisons,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be exciting, just the impact,
That's right.
just seeing the move of what you guys are gonna do is
Mm,
just it's exciting for me,
yeah.
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I have to agree. I think as the days approach, I'm considering more what I'm going to perform. I'm prayerfully considering my set. How am I going to minister? What does the Lord maybe want me to write about? Does he want to inspire something for me to write specifically for the tour? Because I believe that on every night after we've all done our sets, that there's going to be those opportunities for one-on-one ministry. When you're connecting with people and they come up and offer you some nice words and you get an opportunity to maybe pray with them, maybe a word of encouragement. So there's going to be those opportunities just to minister to people away from the mics as well. So I'm looking forward to those behind the scenes moments as well, where the Lord will grace us those opportunities just to maybe connect with people on a deeper level.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Definitely me too. You
And
know?
sorry, continue on. Okay,
No, nothing. Go ahead.
cool. Um, and then I suppose as a way to close, right? We live in Ireland. Love the country, love the culture, love the people. There's an aspect to us though where when we're asked to take action on certain things, we can kind of have a meh attitude. So people are listening to this podcast episode, right? And they're hearing about the dates, Drogheda, Cork, Navan/Mead, and then Bray, right? And they're going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, how would you encourage people to get their tickets? Like, because we can tend to be very lazy in our action to get the tickets, and then what could happen is people could miss out.
Yeah, yeah. You could
You know?
get invited to a youth conference in Geneva,
Mm,
and miss. It happens. It
yeah.
happens. But
Hey.
here's the thing. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, the dates are getting closer.
Yeah.
If you're really thinking, should you be there, or you're only just finding out, I'd encourage you, yeah, to book your tickets. The tickets are only €5.
Mm,
Um, that's two Snickers bars, or even just one, I don't know.
yeah.
But it's a Snickers bar at the moment. We still don't have a plan of increasing it yet, but I do encourage you to come just to experience.
Yeah.
Again, this events uh, about impact. That's why they're
Mm,
called more than words.
yeah,
The impact is you being there as a receptor, as a person who's going to engage, and the artist being there to give,
yeah,
you know? And, one thing, my job, of course, before as the tour is going on, is to encourage the artist to do their best,
mm, sure,
on each night, and encourage them. There's a lot of prayer that's also going into this,
yeah,
you know. So yeah, it will be a powerful thing to just witness.
yeah,
So do not miss it. Again, I say you will be treated right. You will meet people who are friendly and network with them,
yeah,
and you will see really good art.
yeah, yeah. I have to agree with everything you said. It's the truth, We're not trying to pull people's leg at all. It's if you people
No.
don't believe us, check the TikTok channel
Yeah.
for Gospel Music Ireland, and you'll see the videos, you'll see the level of production, you'll see the quality of the content, what these guys are saying. Like I think
Yeah.
if like A Ward has that spoken word called I Thirst, which he's talking about alcoholism, which is
Ooh.
huge for Ireland. Then they both have that collaboration piece. It's okay not to be okay about mental health.
Yeah.
Loso has a powerful spoken word on the reality of the resurrection. So they're touching
Mhm.
on key topics, but yet presenting the gospel through it, which like as a fan, I'm excited just to watch everyone else perform, to
Yeah.
experience the creative arts the whole way through the night. And I just think we're spoilt,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
why I would say in closing for people, make sure you get your ticket today. When I say that the tickets are going, God is my witness, they're going fast. So
Mhm.
don't ever put yourself in a situation where you knew about this 7 weeks ago and then you left it till the last week when unfortunately there's no spaces left and then you miss out on that particular date. Get it now. Click the link in my bio if you're watching this on Instagram, or if not, check the One King Music website. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links down below. So in the description part of the podcast, you'll see all the links. Click it there. Get your ticket today to avoid disappointment because it's a must not miss. I'm excited beyond belief. But Godfrey, I do
Mhm.
want to take a moment, man, in closing to say thank you so much for
Thank you for
your
having me.
partnership, like
Mm.
genuinely just on a friendship level prior to the tour. But I love that we've just been strengthening that friendship since I met you last October, November time, I believe it was. And just to
Yeah.
see what God has done now, he's put us both in a position where we've put on a tour, well, put in the process of putting on a tour that's going to have a lasting impact in the lives of many people in our country, So
Yeah.
thank you for coming on and thank you for just allowing me to, I suppose, share my excitement with you and be myself in full.
Yeah. No problem. And thank you for introducing me to Awad and Loso.
Yeah,
If you get to talk to them, uh, tell them we're excited.
yeah,
Tell them, 1,000 welcomes.
yeah,
Uh,
indeed.
you know,
I will indeed.
yeah,
Awesome. So, guys, for those of you that are listening still, thank you so much. Do us a favor, though. Hit it a like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend, or maybe you've bought your tickets. Send it to someone who hasn't bought their ticket yet as a way to encourage them to get excited about this event. Because if we're excited, we've no doubt that you're going to be excited as well. But, guys, till next week, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And join us next week when I have another guest who's an artist on the tour as well, talking about their creative journey, how they came to faith in Christ, and what we can expect from them on the tour. Take care. God bless. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Hope Sessions podcast. Did you enjoy the episode? Maybe did it encourage you or motivate you? Do you think there's someone in your life could benefit or be blessed by this episode? If so, then why not send it to them? Lastly, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you use. This massively helps to spread the podcast literally all across the world. And don't forget, the hope is to life as oxygen is to the body. God bless you and have a wonderful week. Take care.